Meka ho ne promote side we say pa Twin City Mafia bringing a time to the 20 minutes to the top of the hour 8 and welcome back to the program Maakye on the Kessben 92.9 megahertz. Ya baba dwene o my Ghana home for message breast is here and can come from my 0550 596 we also live on Kessben TV DSTV channel 364 and the Go TV channel 121. Sabredi e kwa homa so na me ne owura Benisia entwetwe komo policy analyst and energy expert entwetwe komo be me mo akwaba
ya menia
o voice no from
ya menia
na ben kache yo enra owura John Abujina po wa magana for ya moto kakradia pa na sese ofiri se ekoso wase enra no nkopem on the 18th there na Ghana se ya nya sika nkwankotua IPPs dibika that say dum so no na e sha se nyame adom o chenachi which is 18th edia pa na ekoso ka kire
me da azminia na minister ka say we are there the ekoso na ono aka but I think that some of these statements from the ministry will say a fall true because the anxiety sound very alarmist. Now it one hour you can name, and I don't think it is bad. It is the best for our national security, especially the energy security architecture. No, we are sounding alarmist, very serious concerns being raised. And I think that the Ministry of Energy and Green Transition must stop those statements. Sometimes, for national security purposes, some statements are made in camera. Sometimes you can make them at the committee level without even inviting in the media, so that media will carry out these things because it distracts some of their plans. And as the industry, some person will plan and distract their plans and it distorts how they want to manage power consumption and also cost of production at the industry level, even household level. No, I say I got less than 3 days of fuel. No, be friendly. And yeah, I could do some one. I think that the ministry was be very careful in communicating some of this. Now, to the issue of car power, I don't also think that it behoves the minister and as a need to say was a minister no communicate my and say car power say by 8 people become yes it could be something more raised through letter, but until 8 people be car power become I don't think that it should just come from the minister. If they've said say yes by 8 people become no muncha minister no also fiscal na okutia momo and now say oni abai no ni obakwa hihye na yetumatua. This is not the first time companies are getting behind the scenes, but the previous government, especially led by Napo, found a way of solving some of these problems before it even came out say Babeka. So it doesn't lie in the mouth of the minister to tell us say by 18th there was EHM. I think that thing also must stop on that part of the minister. Now the general problem of the power sector media because I know car power will not suspend generation because most of the time or one comes suspending generation they are losing, not us, because suspending generation now power plants in Yajumano. Also to your Katia or Wajuma Foka, also to some Kabi, also to now in Yajuma, most of these IPPs, and other independent power producers, they've recouped their investments. So when it's kind of crumbles because Brian signed contract because of the kind of contracts we signed, the minimum annual scanner was profit, they are just making profit because these are fixed installations and fixed installations, the fund is near 400 million now. On what the best install a price, you go Maji, and I say almost emojis here, it's more than 400 million. Almost emoji. So, I think that we need to renegotiate some of these contracts. And I've read this morning from Public Utility Workers Union. As we raise that concern, was you renegotiating some of the contracts because contract prices, compared to African countries, IPPs, here they are not board and looking at the time frame, some of them have worked in this particular republic, so we need to renegotiate. Now the other part say yes, if fuel are short maybe the ministry is not telling us some reality. We are not in ministry Yes, Armenia. We only need emergency fuel when there's a shortage of natural gas. The natural gas any system no more, any emergency fuel. But as you're speaking, ENI is feeding us natural gas over 200 million standard cubic feet per day. Jubilee through 10 or 8 about 100 million standard cubic feet a day. Nigeria through WAPO has the capacity to give us even 120 million standard cubic feet a day, which is even cheaper. It is a procure emergency fuel. As I can procure emergency fuel. We can even renegotiate with Nigerians to give us 120 million standard cubic feet of natural gas a day. And that is even far cheaper than say the cotton oil. Why are we not even looking at that particular consideration? Why are we not even engaging the Nigerians? To beef up, no more about 73 million standard cubic feet. But they have the capacity to give us 120. Why are we not negotiating with them and even giving them certain resources to give us than buying fuel? I think that fuel should be something and the GSA, we need to procure fuel, we need to procure once we have other sources it might inject natural gas into feeding our thermal plants. I think that's the focus. And that is the reason why the formulators of the regulatory scheme and our structure they determine tariff krum harmono. Among other fuels non count because your margin say was a Ghana a bribiano say your maximum source of fuel for powering our thermal plants should be natural gas because that's the cheapest. And fortunately for us, it is a resource that we have in abundance. Just that as a mind we are planning in tapping this resource to feed into our power sector. But these are the I buy OC phase 2 of it. It is a nano. Near bring a here fuel whilst Nigeria has the capacity to give us, here fuel what other jurisdictions have the capacity to give us, which are even cheaper. I remember that the last government even wanted to build what we call LNG terminal at the port. And the reason was that because it's the cheapest, so it means importers are LNG now, with its even weighted average cost, it's still cheaper compared to importing distillate fuel or something like crude fuel. The only other cheaper commodity is maybe heavy fuel oil. So these are the things we are talking about. But say the piano, we are buying, we need fuel, whereas there are other avenues are able to take anya cheaper source of fuel to power thermal plants is something we have to consider. Now the last part is that, I think that the talking in the Ministry of Energy and Green Transition is too much. To be frank with you, I think that a Mrena Sose or my Ghana Benya plan, an actionable plan, a plan that has time frames, a plan that has milestones, the plans that has targets from the upstream, which is what we call the upstream, from the generation to distribution and retail. Or my you hear that? Because I'm saying that because distribution inefficient and they might lose. But transmission so am a problem because infrastructure within the transmission system obsolete. As a man, you are not committing resources to resolving the transmission problem. As a man, in terms of even generation, and American catchers that we have even some contracts we need to renegotiate. It is only through a plan. And by that plan, any bit me who say, I feel Busumi is near Chileno, you bit me as we start the renegotiation. I feel Busumi is a bit mass of transmission. And even in any of these plans, we also look at alternative source of funding for infrastructure modernization and technology upgradement in the system. Because source of funding is also critical to ensure that there's stability and reliability of power. But you need plan. That we have become weak, now we have become weak, and now we have become weak. It is not best for the industry. And I think that's the ministry need here. They should give us a plan. Plan Nobema CSOs like Center and other CSOs to police them. Say, Minister, when I also be achieve, when I also be timelines are you on course to achieve them? That is what we want.
Go ahead.
But say that Biasa ye banner, can't send the emergency fuel, now ye the Asia Manfomo, and a problem no without even stating how we are going to solve the problem. It in itself is also a problem.
But Ben, don't you think the minister is being honest to Ghanaians? Say ebi or the best kukuan because ebi or share a ban financial muscles. I wouldn't get money to solve the problem and the money we are working. It one man I didn't him that three and 9 ko dun so mu ansana wa be explain itself but ebia oba bonte ba be catch and say problem as see ye face ni se ne be ya ye betimi abrace ye ho bia ye be psyche ye ho na nkofo do mo ye beto ye ansana ade na ba eno no nye.
You think this government is the only government that offers financial constraints and liquidity constraints? You think the previous government that didn't face that? Why they say the previous government no any financial constraints? Any government across the world have financial constraints because expenditure no so and expectations of people are higher. If the NSO be managing that particular constraint, make sure that near money and you can even do that when you have a plan and stick to the plan in terms of your approach in resolving the particular problem.
I see.
Right? And yes, Obabe Maye asaki because osaki too much who the Uber. Because then your girlfriend in Ani was yes by 18 couple of to do so.
That's what he said.
Yes, but Kapawa, yes, that's about 450 or so.
They said $400 million. They need to sort them out. $400 million. Yes, and Kadia a bit more creative problem.
Yes, a car would be, but in terms of their capacity, about 450 or so megawatts.
Then according to him, no, a car power for the $400 million, but yeah, the car $1.7 billion. And according to the minister, we need $1.1 billion. And many more to make sure say a normal bit me economy. Yeah.
Let me tell you one thing. You see, a Canada power sector no, it's not new. Since 2019, Ghana, and what we call the Ghana Energy Sector Recovery Program report by. Now, you may who say Afibiano, a Canada power sector no, it's about $2 billion. It is nothing new. And that is why from 2019, we've always allocated a shortfall in the budget to take care of this particular car. A Canada of power sector is as far as 2015. He introduced Energy Sector Recovery Energy Sector Levy Act 899 to take care of this particular debt. So a car in the power sector which has become a new phenomenon that we can't want to know. And that is before. I cannot wonder that. But
and they say ebia bene ebia ban we ban na ban ye twa mu no oma boboka bi de agu ho no mu as compared to bia 2015 year ye ka say kan hyase no ebia ebesi ba bia sa ban dada na etwa mu no ban na eno na ba ba ye kese more than enti bia na ehunu a aban we say na ho no minim se bia ate de me kana se a se o ka ho ase de bia obia no e ka wo ho de but ebia e ka ya body agu ho no a aban we se na ehunu no ene bia obode kasa
Lilia. So take Energy Sector Recovery Program report now. Madia just say aban kran ka say yedeka $12 billion because the Energy Sector Recovery Program report indicated that from 2019 Afibia yedeka $2 billion and say by 2023-2025 the economy do almost $12 billion. If you say what banner say can do $12 billion, it means that your predecessors have also contributed in resolving some of the debt issues in the power sector. So predecessors have managed the sector, procured fuel without any noise about it, or motor fuel, or make it the about it until so because of certain due diligence were not done. And there be a problem say you need fuel in the first quarter. You are buying in the budget. 27 billion. Miracle Minister now saying cash for over around 30 billion. I think the finance minister mentioned 35 billion somewhere. But in the appendix of the budget, when it comes to operations and expenditure, the government allocated 27 billion for energy sector shortfalls. Secondly, why didn't you allocate here? The government knew it. Onimbabi or people couldn't allocate here. So repetition of telling us you can then any question can buy no allocate you all. Are they telling us today that allocation is just for mere budget creation stake the budget and this kind of question it also makes gives us the impression that we mislead the public.
I see.
And that's the best for governance. So meaning at the American and it's a energy ministry now I think we need a plan.
Okay.
Who plan our person resolve power sector challenges and give us timeline.
Okay.
And we can advocate for that timeline. Then support them for them to achieve their objective.
Yeah, we have backup plan on one in the shortest time, but yeah, shady. And right now, a minister Kabibi say, Mami quoting a verbatim was say, we require about $1.1 billion to procure liquid fuel alone. And I say, unfortunately, the liquid fuel is not part of tariff structure, and so we will be buying close to $15 billion of liquid fuel, and that has to be paid by the central government. Now, Okase, unfortunately, the liquid fuel is not part of tariff structure. And no, person say, and no person say be a tariff ECG for JJ says he can and Cassa yentimi and yentimi farm was idea no brand as I say.
With Asiminia, any point also because for natural gas inflows, so I say yearly you need about 400 million standard cubic feet of natural gas per day, right? In terms of trillion British thermal units, they break more than 20 trillion British thermal units. If that is what you need for a year to power your thermal plants, that is the projection, and also making sure that you get it. But any machines, say abbreviano machines need to chima, and any routine maintenance works are machines need to go through. So okay, because of say routine maintenance works, and the natural gas issue because but because of routine maintenance, there was also emergency fuel so that the natural gas inflows on disruptions not the NFPD. Right. So this year like this, we projected say we needed 1.2 billion, in excess of $1.2 billion for natural gas. Meaning we have to here $1.2 billion for natural gas. That's a distraction about natural gas inflows no more. Which means the amount out here for natural gas, holding all other factors constant. Because the next may here be a 20 trillion British thermal unit. And because of that 20 trillion British thermal unit, we factored an amount of $1.2 billion for that 20 trillion British thermal unit. That's because of supply disruptions. Supply is meant to 20 trillion now. The other baby, I was saying, recalculating can you say, $1.2 billion dollars. Meaning, only what you are saying, fine. So if you are not using $1.2 billion to purchase or procure natural gas, it means that the other cannot be media to other fuels. Because other fuels are an emergency, and yet they do down here. And yet we don't need much because before year never started, we've made all the projections and know how much other fuels we shall need for the system. In China, PRC, and other fuels and calculation. What I think the minister is pushing and wants to do is that Opeso lay grounds for us to increase electricity tariffs, and the laying grounds and the Opeso campaign clear for other emergency fuels, which should not be so. Because, for example, if the moment we add the other fuels as part of our tariff determination structure, say that you see at Tobu gas processing plant phase 2. Now you can say all our feeding stock and as a natural gas to our thermal plant, if we start phase 2 now a weighted average cost of natural gas should we still consider emergency fuel? No.
And because or can be beautified a tariff structure persistent shortfalls collections ECG for and that is a pedio can I say push your call or saki adjunct send a bear ye kasi a sat to mubiuma as a for adjunct I say young farmer and father say you did Anna.
That is it. And when you are all cash shortfalls inefficiencies is it the problem of the end user? No. And Mamin correct you see, because we signed certain contracts that did not benefit us in 2015, thereabout, as a state. That is why the government introduced Energy Sector Levy Act in 2015. Because the purpose of the act, was to cater for some of these excesses are by near. Internet energy debt recovery levy by. It is a minimum energy debt recovery levy from 2016 on petroleum products, energy sector. Now what mismanages can? What mismanages can? What's about the catches? The means and put on the tariff structure. That is not fair. You are taking advantage of me.
Me want to cry electricity here to 2 million. And I see an SI, you raise here, you know, kakram.
Yes, so it's not fair, right? Yeah, catching is what we know is that in the coming quarter, which is the third quarter, it was a Enyinam Kani and Bwokofu.
Okay.
Because the major determinants of Enyinam Kani or Krumano, Nina Efiba end user, no Efiba consumer. So people prepare our minds say so much as well. They should prepare their minds to reduce the tariffs for the end user. But not telling us that we need to pay certain fuel and need to pay certain reserve margin.
Okay. Ben, yeah, better sipa. Na ebreniti we be expect you, yeah, expect you studio. What up? In the shortest time, all right, we Ewura Benisia, energy and a policy analyst, and I'm what you see and the etching komono. Njai Abujinapo, John Abujinapo, the minister. John Abujinapo, and what the other two and say, I bind the car. The kana bind the see and yet careful. Ebia by on the 18th, which is Ochinechino, Ansha Ghana, Yebeko Dumsomo. Na yan konko share video no mo tie Kessben 92.9 no. Obetimi afa phone no ako Facebook. Uko Facebook a search for Kessben TV. Program be yaba no wadi akwanya no ahwe bi. Na se ayibia nso no nchen so abetimi atie bi. We are live on Kessben TV. Yanko share Honorable John Abujinapo, Minister of Energy.
Headache is how to get the next parcel of liquid fuel. The fuel we have will take us 2.6 days. We've placed order for fuel, but it has to be paid. We've procured some fuel on credit and working with the Ministry of Finance to pay. But the truth is that the Ministry of Finance also has its limits. And so we'll be going to Cabinet to discuss how we can improve on the sector. And that is why we are pushing for some private sector participation in ECG's operations. It does not entirely solve the problem, but it takes us to another level. Because if the collections are reduced from the 40% to say 5%, it means that we'll be collecting more. Cabinet has also adopted a position and will brief you, Chairman.
All right, about Namene Honorable George Kwame Abuaje, a ranking member, Ewo Energy Committee, and to change Commercia. Honorable Mumu Akwaba.
Yeah,
no honorable catch ye. Say, dear Sempa ne air costo. The energy minister, Abe Catcher says, yeah, careful near ye here $1.1 billion bidia to 2 kabi. Yeka ye de 1.7 billion. No, see, Anya says he canwa. Ebia, Ochinechino, which is on the 18th, no, and Shayana. Yakodum somo dear tipa here be free hin ya ba bedru baby ya do the honorable
me da seminia and the idea me fa konya isunami nchia wetie for titru ne asane manso across for 80 dear oche no no correct ne mom sika no one can say 1.1 no dollar see or cedi no ye na just busumi bia Fangwa here at their power generators no na mami church adiem kakra Ghana a generation mix no 68% a thermal generation almost 68 the akano say so brunibe can renewable
honorable pacho adam no 68 and 58 68
yeah percent a thermal generation and no use fuel na 68 you know emu 80% dual etimi use gas dual power plant and they can use DFO ne LCO na they can 32% you know no say bruni because renewables above for kwan so hydro and solar ne the Akano, no. That is Akosomo, Bui, Bon, and renewal by Solar Kakra, the account. Na enona, energy committee, Shia, na ne power sector agencies, no Shia, na yahu, the Koso, a few Chamu, Omojuma, Moya, and I feel we Omojuma, Mobile. and then a minister by no on obi the medina no the two just say no usumi bia no the top fan over 1.1 billion cedis be generate power or mine and obi here I say the new gas processing plant everybody it can no be ho 1.1 billion it can DFO ne LCO na make kind of fuel petrol me fan say that fuel no side no ever cough they be use mostly gas na gas ne board no so e form kakra nti na ho be hia sa na sisi animanim ya de hia 1.1 billion anya sa atembesi na mini ababi ayedu no nya de da form emu ayedin awo sa electricity sem no izansa nyoma bibre koso ai ebia koso ne bi nso guso koso se oman no ye de 90 form na ye hwe na ya kwacho achu na dimitretre no izansa nansen wetia meeting because so Tanzania energy honsem World Bank president Kofi ho or say energy no a human right on asem no kind no say energy be human right nti akoya de bi ehu hia pa yi na omemu ha no na energy sam no atisan wa menu nyina yinim fa ECG da bia de so bo abo ECG nko a to bia sa wumbi anya ECG nko a obia sa wumbi na ama ye duru ba bia
na honorable na o ka bibi say enoma bi koso ene na ama ya ba bedru ba bia ye du yi o ko as a ranking member energy committee no ede be normal wa wo ye hwehwemu no ede be normal na ekoso a ka bi kire ye a bia de aba bedru ye
e me say normal akoso
normal akoso
ya de akoso ne say dodo na manfo be ntia electricity bill ne ma dodo na ntia and light no so chronozo wom yes chrono wom and afi ma mi to ade bi grid co or no transfer all the generation power normal and no the ma transfer ma ECG ne netco any power enclave no na sa grid co no the ama ECG na almost netco me no come with transmission losses boma 35% minia na how say who transfer power international best practice between me and the OECD countries near the no. She said the transmission should be 2%, but Gridco, I had the on there is around 4%. By ECG, 31% transmission losses. Between me and the no. Fine, on equipment maybe it's okay there. I investment in a system. Almost the end is around 7 to 9%. ECG 31%. Na mini awo now your business. Now koto o adie o dwaso de ba se o ba beton now be ba na mu 35% straight asai o ansa na chrono so abem ansa na bi so to adie na o mu ntua e be de na juma na koso no enye tariffs de bia ye betum ye increase tariffs because your tariffs no compare with West African countries now we are almost at par and these three major things must be done. And yes, sir, I'm telling you.
Say, Yanshanko for Muntia electricity. Never say I can ye kayake. And can one duma. Because Ukobebia, areas be on my illegal connections in Kwa. Says he now cry a cabo. I
know so some politicians now to be because. Who call ye no be afre no we afre na sumasi na we na metramo na munya botre your industries be blow ma ye bo electricity car mo de kirewa chuchiri bi anyagro but who ko choi who ko twaka ni amu ya nke obo the way say so be kaya brana yura the big mama odo so be kaya parliament crowd or the bekan
I be come light
and no san yeshe na at least parliament na ECG na tenase na oma ya ebia payment plans ebia ya do kai bitia ebusun de ma say na se koba na enu tie yusu the higher you say and so what will be said that munja wo mu dia enye debia no 1.1 billion crowd ye kwe nim never brosa.
Okay. Now honorable ye ko ne kwakra mu no. Mekai se 1988 ye ko dum somu and 2000 and was it 1998 in ye ko dum somu which is 10 years after. And 2006 in ye ko dum somu 2011 ye ko dum somu babesi 2016 and ja nana kufu at the time in susuno partially ye ko dum somu bes about 8 months to 1 year e so na dum ne sa no me ya ye busa ya ho say as a country are we marking time e dear pa na apart from see jejeje sa no ma we say mu ne yi your energy policy et say e dear pa na yentimi solve sa de we once and for all ko parliament do koma
ma min ka se bi ncho sa dum so na ekokoi na ubodi no ye the thermal generation by a system no to me no a one problem nifi problem nifi the thermal generation ba hono asa me background the energy fakra me who say at that time no ya nye proper modeling just okay maybe about you know what agreement by 25 years for purchase agreement okay ya ku enim no kwamba so never so oh your modeling what I know is say we make sure say we ku eni wo eden fuel na ade be ma sa generating you know na we benya no wo he na you say fuel that's petrol level ni diesel no nya de na very volatile and the prices no anya stable and you know oku enim no price bit nya koso bit nya say and you say factor ni na eno na yehia R&D that's the research and development in energy sector na ka omo projected for the next 20 years 30 25 years no say fuel yebenya sa encounter we into young con slowly but this time say you want to tell me you do something yes sign power purchase agreement sa say be ya like baba but I know tell say like about to what I feel now be safety problem na kasa me no ka say generation plant you know about 4 or 5 Okaboma is around 700 megawatts you know ka say I say I don't know I feel no more say ayafo about 5 of them okani nyina na ho de boma is about 700 megawatts what I say and you when you na think your factor as a country but the best say what you here anyamo kanianti ya consent agreement near go na say ya ka edru ba bi kra no na ye wo you hear only about 3,000 megawatts it's new about 5,000 over 5,000 megawatts na ya can o produce now the year then tell me now for so no capacity who say at agreement we no capacity charge who you so when you so you must pay
yes
and you or yen so system nim and a transmission losses in the system because of obsolete equipment and war what I say until winning no intermediate me for blame more or akufo me dey pay yen na obi contributing factor yes okay and just share ni hu kwan a e be fa so a sa electricity side ni be holistically be solution to it na aboa o man no anya sa dia ya craft ya greater investors beba abebi factory sama yen group onye adwuma ye but you need energy how would be push sa area.
All right, honorable yabeda CP nyakopon ka ho pa waben nyame adom a yakwa nimu ai ye behia wo pa na wa educate inform sa why
me that's
energy minister Owura Bujinapo eka no parliament no ene wo hia nkofo no wo ka no say electricity company fo ntimi gigiska ni na eno sa danche a honorable George Kwame Abuaja Sami atia say illegal connections are ekoso all over eno ma ban the boka ene adea ne nsensem a etini ni na aka ho bi ena omese anhwe a by 18th a day after tomorrow anhwa Ghana ne yekodum so for adwenche bra ne kenkan pharmacy sia number is 0550 596 929 0550 596 929 ne WhatsApp line ye beken card the amount and our text line is 0550 567 929 0550 567 929 mu biaro de fa hodoma making card the amount we also offer please tell John Mahama led administration should get serious with solving the power issues and stop the optics. Collins Asante Bekwai and Wadi Abba. We will say good morning. We thank God for Bahama's good work. 8 good years NPP did not save our money. Now Mahama has done it, so they should zip their mouth and be in their grave. Babuta Dodowa and Diaba Enche Makati Abatna say and Yasam Ketu Akra and then Yadi be free Makati home. But the shortest time no Yebeko ne Owura Penkra akwachechen komo Prince Kwame Menka spokesperson Edema Ghana Gold Board yana ne betwechen komo afa development bia about 2 days ago a buyer in the shortest time of Baba Humano. So but before that we will see good morning Mr. Ziega. Many years ago NGO I came to Ningo Pram that they will produce wine energy up to now we didn't hear anything from them. We did not hear anything from them. My name is Jonathan Tay. Mitemu the free La Côte d'Ivoire. All right, thank you very much. Sir, yebedi achire and chakra yebedi achire. You want say from Jones or from Mansu to Krom na Diaba Ashanti region. I say Mr. Ziega, if this ECG problems. Okay. All right, Sabre the mame kwa humano. Oh, okay. All right, mame kwa humano so na mene miaka seminua Owura Prince Kwame Menka entwetwe komo. Prince ma kwa abo.
Ziega mejo so bibia boko de.
Nyakopa da Roma bibia boko. Na kache ye ni o nyame adomara kwa gold board for matimi akeka mo ho amakwache foreigners bia. Yes, nka obo pese obo make attempt to smuggle gold. Edeko mukrom ni ade ni baby omode ko but nei uko Nigeria I report to say your Ghana phobia omo da jail wa Nigeria uko China nso a your Ghana for omo da jail wa China na ye den na sankofo de mo che omo a ye nu omo asem ne ye prosecute omo na serve deterrent to others a wo mo ba Ghana na fe de semo ba be deport oba mo mako
Azemba ya nyabutre beboa because yenka wo baby ase ye beja nkova mo mako enkomo mienu ni ye dikan emrante miensa mo free India na no ye chi o mo se ankomo smuggle gold e dey free my Ghana and after nobody gold utwa e wo my Ghana wa bra emra no mo kwan so metima ye sa no ye chi o mo wa bra na ye nya issue warning na ye issue say foreigners exit local gold trading market no it's upon hindsight no kai say ye chi omo no ye deport omo immediately ye chi omo ye do ko ye national security custody omo so ko court emye could deal matter so upon hindsight no na ye cast a look and nam say ye chi omo proud to the issuance of your directive say foreigners in free a local gold trading market. No. First batch of 3 Indians na ye money there. Ye but the second batch of 3 Indians, ye kasa for 6 Indians. So the second batch of 3 Indians na ye on May 9 said na komu di gold muja wa my Ghana wa brem rana mo kwan say wo bet my yes ano. Wo mo die emrane ni omu bedi na said ye sitie. And you said ye wo kane no wo be kwa ko jina court
the Otemuan Fonakas of Munko Piase, and now 1 year, and no, and the Becoso. So, over the they will tell me, can or provoke them or die press conference. No, they will walk the mile. The laws of Ghana would deal with them. It will be a baby, I said, a foreign abetumra or my Ghana, your betu gold board, Marana, Ibeja, no. What Ziega wouldn't take that earlier decision now. I mean, just being fair. Now, look, directive don't buy later. And son of this upon you know. In fact,
okay.
On and son directive never.
Yeah, Shadow.
My second one, dear, I'm running you on bit.
Okay. Now, yeah, Shadow. Directive no ban sana. Ye mochiwamo mebwa. Mochiwamo sana directives neba mebwa. Yes, okay. Eti modo amo court say.
Yeah, the omo court say Oma Koti gold ga ewo my Ghana. Wabre mrana mo kwan. So Sama yare ni omo before the court no. Now we had issued the directive.
Baba say there's an element of criminality in what they did, mebwa.
Absolutely, which the laws of Ghana clearly tells out exactly what to do.
Okay, so smuggle Ghana
on the side, relax. On the side of gold board, our decision was that look, because say Obono, what they did was proud to the directive, we should just deport them. But for those who broke our laws after the directive was issued, in spite of the fact that they had even seen stories of their fellow Indians being arrested and being arraigned before court for same no. In spite of all that, they went on ahead to do what they did now. They will face the law.
Okay. And then praise nyawetema me pacho me pese me busa say before a modern side directive ni beba no mochi o man sana directive ni beba de yemfa no to say omo ye chi omo amodo omo court na court say omo ye temu omo adwuma omo ye ni say omo ye crime meboa
almost say a crime, but judge needs to see you deport to. That's it. I mean, because based on an autotuono and a dine when he said, and I'm say Satan na ye got you on not say a strong and strict directive no in your mind. Let's deport them.
Any time na mochi woman and sana a straight directive ni nyama enti amochi woman ada na man deport to straight number do am court
yeah for man deport to straight that yeah do court no because we wanted to send a signal to the world
enti na dey ka say
they say let's not stay on this matter over this unnecessary controversy. The point that we are making is that the first batch of Indians who were arrested no because we did arrest proud to the directive. They have been deported. That is not going to happen again. The second batch who were arrested will be made to face the law.
Okay. And they say the measures now by you where bet you be and be face the law.
Master, there's no mercy for the cripple.
Okay. So first one no much omo hefa. First three no much omo e. Omo e do omo sana ba deport to omo no.
First, the study of a catcher speaker, that is a catcher or no. No more you know, or would you a year Kumasi and then cry. Not done any Nana was in any match at Yamomo. So what the company be a friend unique MM. Ghana and some running in it. In the coming days, you know, you have about the Mamma update what ye one home. What the American say. But you use press conference, you know, just to send a signal to the people of the world, Titroma. My Ghana, Ghana for say under a new set of rules and regulations, and after a new law now, I will go board. I'm a friend, and not a foreigner. Any role will be played on the local gold trading market. So that's the signal that we are sending.
Okay.
And we are using the second batch of 3 Indians that to send a strong warning there. Set yet, and Brandon will be of course. And Brandon will be and one will say yes. Ghana Brano a kappa.
Good. Good. And then I share them. You can check your time now. It's 8:26. You are live on Kessben 92.9. Maakye Dumedie and Amasugusu Amutie. We also live on Kessben TV, DSTV channel 364 and Go TV channel 12. Mubiano. Washa Horma on Sabekaina. Oko Facebook uswa facebook.com/Kessben FM. And I say Kessben TV. Ubenye live on the line. No Ora Prince Kwame Menka. A spokesperson at the Magana Good Border. And you praise a yeah, share a TV this is your TV this year. Ya know some what you want to see can be doso popa. Any a good bag of one magic drama. Sassy can no more than quite enough.
Another question on me, short there. Where is the car? One after none will go to get you that or would you anymore? If you don't need to a good bag can be anymore. And I'm so the car for now, a good water. Some no man I have to tell you. Meaning as the better, yet the court. And you know, I gave you as the better, you fire banker. But for the purposes of the press conference, 18 I account press conference and after they say, and now say a press conference, the media for the woman at the cardiac potea, you who will and anything I have it can be in front of the cameras, so you start to celebrate that will be unfun and anchor as a better. And that is the reason we are unable to even give, put a figure to the amount of gold I see, another the value of gold I see. That will be up to the court to decide. It is a assembly and a cost of quarter, not that revelation that we can all use the figure from the court. But for now, and normally who will TV, so Mama show Kessben TV, Mama show Facebook, Kessben TV, Kessben FM. Bon say, normally we are training in back in the county machines, where you normally who were the next 3 batch of Indians now on May night.
I'm facing charges.
May night, yes, actually.
Wow.
What a disaster. Never by first batch of Bakwata, master of disaster.
Yamusao, say a chuobia, send pano. Say on smuggle sikani ni baby and if it is sikani say we here na coin e we
but the said them kind of way engina ye exhibit I the beko court court dey be decided
it court be decided say that say emeye Ghana dia ana say bi e jaw ma ye fa ma de mo nko ana say ye nya ne de pese bi e fa koma nyanka na say de tie e ready na me
why do you need to go out of plan?
Hey, praise, oh, praise.
God the way decided.
Yeah, that's a pa. Makati so watch out.
Makati me Joseph Makati not to say. Point of law.
All right, praise the Lord. That's a pa. One pa. Yeah, that's it. Maka, I said the make Cassani nana. What say as that you own your enthused and the questions na the answers na as on your UBC me boy.
Ziega, Mamincha.
Go.
I think say Prince Enua. Adma Wayache. He has about 18 years standing as a journalist on air. And Tino. And near my bibana o can as a veteran no. I'd expect say he will be with us. First, you see, more arrested. Authority would be arresting you. You are preparing charges against the person who are arrested. You should tell the court what you confiscated. What to the exhibit. It is not for the court to tell you
where you exhibit.
Who now would do exhibit?
Echo.
Say, ma Indian ni. Who now also ye Indian ni. You must prove why you say he's an Indian. Do you get it? Yeah. You must prove say I did not know Krano. Indeed,
and only exhibit.
Any exhibit say a year gold, and now any gold. Do you get it? That is for you to tell the court, and not the court to tell you. And it is Kwame Kasi court no and a betra that is not correct
because it's a beer no wa kwachi obi suspect say ade na kuta ne sebe aye cocaine na the court no now so court determine say no exhibit no ka say powder what will be
so you must do this audit everything say mu need capacity to determine see where you gold are you take it to where or make me establish say this product no I was to was in what dream we estimate this year gold no indeed it is gold if it is gold that what is the quantity what I say gold do saying and more easy who value a saying how much money and more easy see this now matia no am dey trends and job for no who quantify how much is it let us know you have arrested yes what is 6 Indians. But how much was involved in all? They get it. And I think, say, for me...
there's one question
as to whether or not, say, the decision to repatriate the people, no, is legitimate.
There's one question back and forth. I'll say, before we do our measures, they arrested the first 3. First 3 no more arrest you. And some of the measures nearby. So they have to... your friends say deport them. That the last train there, within the measures name. And I mean, Bizan say, na first train na that time measures name. I didn't do court. We sent them to court because
and so
it's
against the law.
Against the law. And they say be against the law. What do we do to the person? Do we have to deport the person? No, I found who did. Yes, they are carrying you found where you remember.
That is it.
Yeah, that's what I found.
This is because in any case, say Emra among 4 coin, if they were not licensed to trade in gold, they couldn't have traded in gold.
Yeah.
And at the time, I'm watching whether with gold bought they flouted the laws. They were traded in gold illegally. Emra they get it. So you cannot come and say and having a guidelines are banned. Before gold board now you want
hey and then me person me bisana was me to me can okay so thank you very much we Charles McCarthy chief editor edema the Hawk newspaper and Harrison Kudu Aban and so Abeba PRO Nadmo and a member of the National Democratic Congress communication team. By your share, we say Benjamin Jawu Apia, Benghazi, so Baba representing New Patriotic Party. Maakye Yensha say quickly tell us energy energy minister near Kasai. Baby Ababe Dunum, you sure say interviews are how in Nano now with TV. Let me give you the first 10 minutes and see.
Ziega, Obia name position on this energy minister. Beyond talking, beyond the media engagement and his fluidity, we come across as one of the clueless ministers. Omayino.
Oh, Makati.
Yeah, he's very clueless, full of arrogance and pride, but with zero output. And I'm being frank with you, and I'll prove to you why.
By some of the West now,
that is my
somebody who has been a ranking member.
You see,
why a minister for power, or that, why a minister of power.
Yeah.
I a ranking member. Served now. Into upezo just what case clueless. It means they will need the oil.
Obi program or say any ecosystem. Niawabubo ni nano. What has been the impact of him in that ministry? Tell me. Apart from scaremongering, apart from fearmongering, then obey. Ziega, this minister, before he was made the minister, answer number any minister, no, not transitional committee, no, notice, responsible for energy. Okay, so be catch in January. Say akaya 5 days.
Yeah.
Emma president dia home prepare. Any ayemushishe. Ekushia energy expert. Okay.
Yeah.
Eno mudi source ade nano. Obi a watna committee so ya handle report ni everything amawa wunim Ghana your energy situation no Ziega 4 months into office you sit down only to come to yesterday to tell us say in 2.6 days
2.6 days.
In 2.6 days, and we are likely to get Dumso. Are you not clueless? You took over a sector, and I will say a honor 5 days. Na energy, I na one. Crude na fuel na one. A bit take only 5 days. That situation was averted by the intervention of the president. What do you have to do as a minister? Enema osese enedi nema tutu akwan to avert sa challenge no
e be or the normal
tutu akwan odi ato anka ye behu
but said eka
see eka na wo ye den fa what did you do eka yes eka ho oba ye den na wa ya fa ho what did you do in 4 months na obetra as a minister no tell me ni oyeye let him come out and tell us what he's been able to do about the debt.
But Magati, who can say I saw the bottom sika?
But is this bottom sika? Now, and no kaya no, you have money sika and the bottom sika. It is not his bottom sika. Yours. That is why we pay you. We give you everything you need, so you can think for us. You don't wait and be doing firefighting approach. You must be proactive, not reactive. This your minister is a reactive minister. Or your fire service minister. He scares the president. Or the doomso no threaten president. Because maybe a child, mama one that doomso tag no. And no better now within the shortest possible time you engage and you are telling people say 2.6 days. Let's be fair. We am sector minister. What nasi? And what was it? 2.6 days. Yebenya doomso. You don't qualify to be there.
So are you saying to president now aware of what he said?
No, let's deal with the issue holistically. And the 2.6 days, your man is sika and then obetmanya crude amaya situation. Can he? If you want to import, can we get in 2.6 days? Say importua, Yan kase Ghana for apne ye disikana was ye dikani na mano. Can he keep our light on? If it is not scaremongering, say blackmailing now.
Blackmailing the president.
Yeah, it is.
Threaten the president.
Yes.
To get what?
Because president, with the American say, Mama one, that doomso tag. Mama doesn't want doomso again.
Yeah.
Under his watch as president, when he has promised us a legacy term. Do you get it? Yeah. And to know better no about 2.6 days. Does it make sense to you? Ziega, what you console we achieve? Who detect problem? Now we are proactive. Now we follow institutions very well. We production everywhere. Who name the challenge you will get in the next? They say me what? Because be the report, bro. And you should know. Say no. In a month's time, in 2 weeks' time, crude that way, it can't take us. You make arrangement for. Train 2.6 days. And what about out in 2.6 days, we're going to get power cut.
How will you know, say, after January no Bepe Kasai?
Yeah.
I 4 months. Within that space, he has made an attempt, but when your results,
what attempt did he do? Wouldn't attempt na catch me.
There's a need no bit my babeka.
But me catch and say, you see, fear and panic. And why no?
Yeah.
Where fear and panic? Telling the whole nation say in 2.6 days.
18th was our date.
Yeah, in 2.6 days, you have condom so. Because you are the car. Into waka na ye dia hon prepare ayem share president will approve. Na the sikama say crack crude oil bra, crack light oil ebra. That is all. That is agenda. There's nothing more other than this. Me sana me catch. That is how I see it. Because here you were ENI, you were Jubilee, and Nigeria almost supply gas. Almost complaining. The gas supply is a constant flow. What do you need a emergency fuel for? Ghana and Ukraine. We are not fighting Russia. We are not fighting Nigeria. We are fighting Burkina. So what do we need emergency energy for? Fuel for? Ziga. We are minister. Waba. Let me tell you. You were Jubilee oil fort. You know we have 3 oil forts. Ziga. You were Jubilee. You were 10. Say 10. No, say then 10. And you were Sankofa. Like I say, all these you took crude no at least averagely Ghana as at 2024 daily need produce 500,000 barrels. And you diko amano ni cotton. Why must a country like Ghana you benya that problem? Say you took crude oil no efi hanum 500,000 barrels per day. And you do kwa manone. Na ya san kokra light fuel aba. Abe power ye machinery. Are we serious? Are we thinking? Why do you have to hedge everything? Why you hedging na wie? Into buy na as a minister and ka you proactive and once you are there you know what you are about, no? You must do something to check some of these things. You don't come and tell me, say, there are energy losses. Now, one losses in the wine.
They say,
prepaid. Prepaid, no. And Yemen, me sa, I vend kilowatt, no, to me meter so. Me triance diamame. So, what is accounting for the losses? In the case of ECG, no, you miss what is accounting for that 31% losses? Inefficiency. Because moti high, your test studio high, some prepaid the sound automatic, you go off. This is a mukolodi, or you rely on your plant. Does that know what is happening here? Yeah. So, what is accounting for that so-called losses? You want to blame it on the citizen? It makes no sense to me. Usi Greco, Usi way, whose duty is it to ensure says our companies, the Greco will make losses will be within the approved margin? I had a ministry. It is the ministry. So you don't transfer the cost onto the Ghanaian. So I say, with inefficiencies, your incompetencies should not be a burden. It shouldn't.
See a tariff structure, no? A tariff structure and a persistent shortfalls. ECG, kwa mo faso mo GGG. Si kanene sa no man yeah.
You see,
na kamubi.
Other na won try and review so a day ntina manfo invade. If it is about a cost on the high, never reasonable. Say about tax, so when the taxes are reasonable, everybody will want to pay. And the young says, well, tariff rates, make it sense. Everybody will want to pay. Is that not it?
Yes.
So, Muntia, Quamben Suntino Muntia. But this today, a prepaid. And Americano say, a prepaid that. What is accounting for the losses? And so, catch me. That is why you should be telling every Ghanaian, say, look, when Tina, yenya sa losses, then prepaid, yes, you were prepaid. But what?
Okay.
You see, we need answers, we need solutions. And untina won't tria dainka. Untina won't talk won't talk fuel. Yeah, show you know much phone just to think for us.
Okay.
Do you get it? So say Obana won't mean think is 360 ya. Who will tell you can't think 360. So fear mongering way. They be out so Bob president and shake. Ziga.
Okay.
So what is studio high?
Just Makati.
Ziga. What you host to show we. Now you are going to see with console mal problem. One can only to go and tell will manage you and so in 2 hours the console will crash.
Okay.
You are incompetent. You are clueless.
Makati say yes na bobo pa.
What I say?
But na bobo.
Me boka krabi.
Boka krabi. That time no say na say o bobo ana say bia. Ho chetima kakra bia. Na ya kofa rob de twitwi akoba money sa no man. Yeah, advert fa mo na wo de twitwi so 15 minutes ta ho beto Harry minister say when you be there sometimes we see your ya say munya botrem nya ne akwakofa aduro bi de tuawo ye di tuawo ya say onya twa 20 minister bejo ebu onso so a ebia na ho ba bi o ya kotodwe ya o ya utimi kura nante ehwo ane akwafa aduro bi de aba ne de twitwa yes o twen kakra be sa de be che na atɔ any all this are ina ene sa no mani na atuatwa ene medical ayaba ifofraba yom herbal lotion aba mutie enie mo ana na no na mubisa so yom ne ewo hefa no yom ne enie na yom herbal lotion no eno eye instant action what the kan ya na ko mutie ne yi o ene sa wo de ba be kan ma na da be 15 minutes anasa 20 minutes ansa na wo ho ato ene ne se bia o so ton so wi abeka so we no ase ye interim ye de hyehye me de kan enam se sisia na ko eniti no ahwa na asen abada bi ente sa wo de kan na ko a emabiem wem eye yom herbal lotion eno na aba me no bia eguso etu obia be fa se bia wonya ye friyare bi awon se bi o no wakɔ gym wakɔ ye stomach ye funu tutu sa do se miaw ye funu eye wo ya sa tete wo ebetimi akɔfa problem be bia de amount enti fa yom ni bi na fa etwitwo so afei etiyare uti na ye oya wote kakra bi na de afa o momba so se okon na ye oya wada okon so anayare bi na ama akon ye oya udi twi ya na kɔ tiawa yom herbal lotion and arthritis awo so eteto ama ye twetwa unyani bebrebe yom ne ba bedi wasam di amount na bedi se ebetoto na amount anase be manage ebetu ase e di amount migraine eprebi e wo so bia no yom herbal lotion say ne tie mo hwe yom herbal lotion minim se kamatimi azumi ne kakra no amamia yom herbal lotion and ebedi asem edi amaye na yom herbal lotion no ope ba ku sei ato no akwa yusu ana apedo do atu akwa koton a number is 0244 730 295 0244 730 295 and 030 2945 146 0230 2945 146 yom herbal lotion and ebedi asem edi amaye. Okay, Harrison Kojo Abba coming sir PRO Edmund Nadmo and member of NDC communication team. Harry Memo Akwaba.
Ziega.
Na yeah, Charles McCarthy, chief editor, Edema the Hot newspaper. What say so Kasa was say? Minister of energy, Honorable Abujinapo, or threatened president, or the who share Ghana for mu. What the who share president mu be said ya be president be sika man so of Kokoto crude.
Where you want me jina kwanya yusna. Ni we wasi akasa no graba kati candidate this out. Siga.
Ba
uza di jagu.
Is that all your literature? Never saw your literature. Now your literature. I'm a journalist. Yeah, try. We are literature. The TN is so be the story mawa. Ubetimi a change kwanya of fast or chrono. But the importation, the import of any the son. It is send a mechanic, send you cost run a mechanic, some you. The mechanic, the kind, the bottom line is what say the parent fretty or the Hushi.
Where the Mamina Quanya Mefacham, when they were tearful, Namincha Mebra Penny Makati. Yamisha knew pa or Yamagana. Say, Omon Betu Muasiho, Akasa Amagana fan to my panel. Enye kurubia so no benya bi sebe Samson agana hanso enye obi ya na betimi ya na makate no moye no because adwuma moye no eyehu
yes
enya dia sebe eden eda fom obi dwen se obaba be kasa wa ha keke na waji wudin no afa wonko won sankronfo nim threats ne nyoma eta di achi a ka o mo uzi enya de eda fom ba ne nyina o mato mu ho asi ho a o mo bo adwuma since a minimi bra peni makate he has been very just to the cause. We idea we follow course na check. And idea Ghana mpuntu eda na kuma so pa. Brapa ni mechia eye me nyuma ye fo sabe. Me nyuma ye djuma wo nadmu, especially me boss. Eye Kuyon retired major. nyame nhyɛ no nnwuma pa waba ɔba bɛyɛ nneɛma a wɔde si akwan mu no Ziga ɛnkyɛ yɛde bɛtoto media no so ama mo nyinaa mahu plans anadmo wɔ especially to this raining season ɛɛba yi afi I'm telling you, we are going to manage the disasters ɛba sɛbe mmerɛ atwa mu kɔ anka disaster timi di yɛnya no this time around we will try very hard to manage it. When you see disaster the ɛnyɛ easy sɛ wobɛsi ano kwan but at least management video wobɛtumi ayɛ den wobɛtumi ayɛ nti mede nkyia so nkɔma no nyame nhyira no nnwuma pa a wɔyɛ den wɔyɛ ɛde aboa Ghana mekɔ ɛyɛ honorable gyinapo asɛm no so no wa wonim sɛ yɛ energy sector no yɛ sector bi a it comes with a lot of problems Ziga you will testify and this is not the first time as a crude and oil as same way honorable gyinapo ɛde ba before I even assume me as Minister of Energy crano and son even a letter crab say ya appointing or crab why those claims say what was it saying 5 days
5 days
yeah
was it 5 days per enaka
yeah that's January
but nyame no kranim ye appointing no as minister no minim say yanya fu no e dey cover 5 days na ma na aboa ama nanka disaster na eba beto ya na nto ya I don't know but since then no I've not heard any information be say any information bia say yanya wa na ayeden e dey see anan to represent the coming days na eba no we have not gotten any information like that. The only thing who say the lights are on, everybody is working dum so eba na said that you crucial as expected enti ono so bia ono so abonu ndwuma e wo offer brapeni we also know say aban kwa aban ba bia nso no there have been some sort of legacy debt ewo energy sector e won a debt oko ECG wo debt ekura no via the one de all the institutions under energy ministry debt me question me be say how na omo de bia omo ton ade am kankwa no mobo there have not been any day ya ka say send your friend institutions from the energy sector has made profit de bia eka which means I say it is long overdue a year as citizens and we need to start asking questions and make sure say ye be man hwehwemu akoso wo energy sector no ne ya hunnie enti asanyoma no eba some time ago people levied it against we the citizens ye ne ye illegal connections and ye mpesi ye betua light bill and ye use bigger gadgets na de ne ye de fa illegal so na de ni ntia na adwumako na adwumako no eboka but here lies the case omo to anamo bebre to solve those problems especially procurement of meters here ye change meter for beba sebi ye be jai postpaid enu ni nyina ka ho ne ya be jai postpaid abeko prepaid no so ya be ko ya sabe prepaid no cry asa this is the third time or this is the third time I use prepaid so with all these things
say you cry ye bokasa
de bia na
to prepaid ni sa ba ku bia ba lora time ko kumasi minim se mu ya mahuna makati ase ye kitua bi se ate se phone we ni asa chemutu so tike na eboboho bebrebe abra de change ye no kwaye nu ba bia ni su ba bia
man for gigs
you now na akofa ba no agye hu de bia asma
ni nyina ka ho ne ye boka no kwa wi ye wo se ye hwe ho anim ye ka no kra kra
enye hwe
asoman no ni nyina Ziga ni nyina ka ho ne de
odum se still obi da so use postpaid
how can that be possible?
Me see postpaid is in the system. I'm telling you go to hinterlands ni bi ho ma postpaid bi su kumase e bi use postpaid me na maka cho etiansi sa ni na akra nue ya eye de na ayi ye fere say prepaid aba ni asesa ye wo prepaid ni asa ba sesa no ye nu ba bia ye de ka ni asa ba sesa no ni ye se nu ba bia last year ye say almost sesa prepaid
ye de bounce ye kire ye say ene na the solution to the problem say ho na ba betua ka ni nyina recent one we are yes say and sana aban ye be free so we were told say was your mom famra the way on metimi accumulate revenues to pay for the debts available. That was what we were told. People were crying and say na speed ye too much. I don't know whether you have heard that thing.
Yeah.
Now it was double the ones now why then o masasa. Ni nyina still that's what they ka. So meaning say there is a peculiar problem at the energy sector that needs to be looked at. I was seeing my near the yani koho. And I think the energy sector, and even though here I was yet we need to hear what is happening, because Doom so SEC kakrana lighter doom people will be asking questions, and I know the minister will need to come out to come and respond. Fair enough. But I think we must pay more attention to the job.
Save that Mr. Papa obi the message aba Nana Dako, a physician, was say good morning Ziega. Or say at Asen Fosu, my wife is using postpaid meter. Asen Fosu. Yes. Postpaid meter. And that's what was here. Or say what you are saying.
Prepaid in premium.
Go ahead.
So inefficiency in America.
So the problems we want to solve, it seems we are not solving them. Problems we are rather generating problems, rather saying we are solving it. So that has been our problem at the energy sector. I said we are not committed in solving the energy sector crisis. And I think some people indirectly, directly are benefiting from the losses we are doing. That is why we are not able to solve the problems. Some people directly or indirectly are benefiting. So we say in Ghana, so be benefit on person. Last I went to my hometown and I want to state this. So be benefiting from BBA. You'll be surprised. Say on person service solution. Yabemano solution. Done by Bramakati. The bridge now yes your mama and Bambeno.
Yeah.
Kuro for omo tribute. Ewo offer say penny.
Look at this.
So we bridge as
we bridge na adwuma
business good.
So you understand?
Omo use boat,
speedboat. They amount for trains you passengers and the.
Look at that.
Yes, I didn't need a bridge. So that has been the problem. Ghana a problem no. See obi benefit will be bimo. Now say a problem. Now o person will solve. Me fan say kwan nya wa ha. Na man for true man for machi dia man for fom. Now we so be kwan na better say ma say hu ne didi jai. Ma kwan na kasa.
Yeah, it's true.
And that is the problem we have. Yesterday I saw a presser from the Honorable Minister. Directly I took the presser, I sent it to him myself because many on your was her level. Me send him and me say bossu. Asma can you dear? So we jam man your hodia. Nyamini nukra nebe hayo. Sana I told my children basically on reply me do. But my children say oh ebe hayo. Because presser na me who say oh who see obi sabotage system na obi yini panadi. I don't know whether we have seen it.
Yeah.
I've
read story like
that. In draft story no. And I'm say oh boss. And what's what can crash in the panel? Because before Betty will be sabotage and so I can find it, I'll say why they sabotage. None young crop and your baby and your side.
Nah, I will be sabotage or better than it is so or send a signal. Then the panel done also.
And your say
I'm a cat back so the card who show me once.
If you are accessible, people will tell you. So we are approachable.
Yeah, they can't come to you.
They can't come to you. If you are not accessible, Obia ma ho come bo amane so obi say yes but obi open to her open door policy. You get people coming to whisper into your ear. So we have seen other ministers.
Yeah.
We have seen why people are going there to tell them.
Yeah.
But me bra enwana yeah can around this table. Bra penny. All ministries, all institutions, all agencies obia one of loss. Obia one announce so offer. But energy sector I was see my as a country, especially the president and the chief of staff. I'm urging them say yani alcohol to help. No, see minister no, and minister no is doing very well. Or yene dear, but I was say yet me buano. My Jumane
is a more benny and one beam.
Oh no, I was saying my
the president in a Muabwa and a Makati
and a Makati.
The president in a Muabwa. Ghana for we are ready to help him. Yeah, the boy, ready. Yeah, no, yeah, need to Mamina Miminia like
it. Yanso, yeah, ready to see about one minister. No man, I na Juma Asipiasitano. I was also yet being in some to walk.
We got illegal connection there. You baby illegal connections.
Asa, illegal connections. And Emma Yaboka, minister, Yabetro. say ade prepaid meters yi na ade na ebinumu akonnect akoba bia mana ya ubia amanfo be den e be ka kire wo
and Ukraine say e kai wo ho 1346 containers ajira ehu akiri kwan and now no buy first was 500 ECG spending $500,000 me wa edik say $500 million edik cry niema enema no be car port ema omoto auction niema no ema obi ema ECG after fetch akoto sa niema no you are looking for that people till na ehu omo
ye hu adwuma
omo de be adwuma no ye omo jai sa adwuma no ye containers omo so omo hwehwe no. How many days in
no
what you want?
From I say President John Dramani Mahama hasn't taken Mr. Julius Debra as a vice president to replace Jina now Pokwajiman. She is still the vice president till she will recover fully. It is propaganda message from the opposition. Ghanaians should discuss it. Our vice will recover and take over her position as vice president. It is not true that the president John Mahama won't replace her. It is false. So let us stay in Asamna here discussing our topic near discussing. Mumien stay in it. Okay. We will say hello Ziega. We are still using postpaid meters in Dunkwa on Ofin, and the bills that come, my brother, people are crying. Magati. So as Manamika.
Yeah.
Ukosu uko Dunkwa on Ofina. People are still using postpaid, and a postpaid, you know, or say a kai de ban. Ever they be uncle for report to a hadebia. Yes, see a cow almost shed the chadeban. I had a bit of a young.
I don't know who one problem. Whose problem? Now quite easy to cry now more can and some more in Pessi.
Okay, now just my
can say. Yura Jinapo, energy minister. So far, so good. He has done very well. Because Makati, problems are wababeto. Problems are honorable Jinapo wababeto. Basis say light every 24/7. So I think we need to give him that credit, at least for that one. And we all know, see Jinapo Yobia, a ban energy sector now. He's one of the people in this country who understand how the sector runs perfectly. And I think, see, if we give him the needed support. Now Obia sabi why na adwen to be sabotage system ni bia no. Obia why na adwen to be sabotage system ni bia no. Ye be expose ni pa no e de magina pa den ayina di. Now His Excellency John Dramani Mahama as the president is bent on solving the energy crisis once and for all, just like the way he did.
Okay. I say uni me pa. I say amu blebi na me boss akola pa. Makati kura obekai na me boss akola pa because me bitini paya ma afi na me jimi hu baabi anenye. Na problem e buy ni say obi recommend yi ma me chocho shampoo conditioner and hair food base at base. Na me sha say me di dware mitirim no. E na mitini sha say grow say bitimi tra no kakra. Me ni anase mu hu. Anse we say bitimi tra no kakra. Eti obi a wapampa mu pano ubetimi akwakope chocho shampoo conditioner and hair baser food dibi now the adwaru will be a dandruff ho a wo trim baby a wo hye bia wakwakoto Brazilian hair ne bo den na so enam se ho a na wo trim ti da bia na pen ana se dua bi so trim wo de nipam kura na wo dwum da bi wo hia chocho shampoo conditioner hair food and the baser no na tu ase dia ma na me no ka se edue eda so wo enkofo trim ti se de ne ebi mu start eda so use postpaid no ho etu di bi dware mu a ebekọ kama o retouch uti a ye de afini numpe na udini na ate aba be hyehyɛ afinim se wo ye style uti na amawa ye nunum pe na utu ni na tete enuku ase basa afi uti na anu ni na tete ama wakọ akwanya Kwame Nkrumah shape enuku ase ebasa pepe chocho shampoo conditioner hair food and the base no ekira kwan na ayi endi wasem enfama afi o chocho skin toner body cream eno so no mo a mo pese mo body no etoso kama pa shine pa no uye kokko shining uye tuntum akoko tuntum shining u se big spot spotless eno no uhia chocho skin toner and cream eno no mo a mo ye radio presenters ne your friend is TV presenters no mo na mo hia we pa afi chocho shower gel jari bi ye de aloe vera ene ye de aye ete moisturize o body no e ma ne prevent and sansan huduo bia epese say good that biano and a preventing and the good biano a best kwa at the amount I feel so akobo and also akonya problem be say kuta knee pain strain pain when your back pain your friend is a neck pain and we hear chocho bam and we hear be chocho tinsu honomo ububobia and we bet be do asma the amount and on akwa energy drink de bia ububobia boost immune system no send your beya and yare bia wo mu no boost immune system na sa no a ma wa soja fo na wo mu no strong ti say ye de aduro kan wa yare bia no di asie no ye de aduro kan wa ne ko afo betimi anu bi na prevent wo de afi yare dom ni na ho na ne kwakwa no chocho herbal tea chocho herbal BPT ya ka cho so BP no ena de be ko e medical ka che nipa de say siri hu chocho herbal BPT na ba eno na ba be di asem de amaye e be regulate yi pressure no na be to ase e de amaye eti pepe bi bo na eje ofa hudie afa de krakra no chocho hand and foot cream eno no mo amo edo modo adona ye maduma obi also so ye aduma ye printing press or some machine nim de bia obi also so otwi wi bar obi driver on fa ayi gloves and shan sa de bia stia yi de bia so koba we commercial driver uhia sai ni because a bit ma on saba abo cheche ene ade mo amu ofufuo no ene aduma bia we ya edo onsa na ya na so pam na ye e bit ma ba on sama abo cheche no eno no uhia chocho hand and foot cream o share empabo de to hono mo na sebe mpradua sanka e de abam sauce baako no wayi ni ya si ne asa baako no dabi ese wo sha baako a utimi sha to aso bia 3 times ema enka bia mam eso mpaboa no ni kwasa wo sha na wo kodi akotu ayi awiamu esi awiamu de bia ofra dwuma ba che awiamu dabi eso to them it's cause emuham uhia chocho hand and foot cream ni bi na pe baako na ato a na ayi akoyusu anaso pedodo atu akoto number is 0551 815388 0551 815388 and 0244727348 0244727348 and 050 455535 050455535 emu bia no fra ye beje so na de ho bia no ye no waka yegusu a ye twen se Benghazi ebaba kansa last week isa no ye wa etiman kofo bebre fi se yakwa kofa NDC rep aba eno abekasa abra NPP ni enka ho ya de frɛ no wantimi ama no ye Benjamin Jawu apia wato ye nkra se onam kwan so a oba enti we NPP ni no anum so no achele we say the minister speaks too much which has nothing to offer for Ghanaians because what we are looking up to is to deliver but not to give us explanations, not to give us excuses. That will not solve the problem that we are now fighting against. As a minister, your responsibility is to solve problems, but not to give us lamentation. Okay, thank you very much. We're free George Frimpong. And what do we say? Abba. Makati ebeko second round. The second round, ye di kan bosso. Na ye kan good board who asem say ye or match foreigners miensebia. Omochi omo no so omo guidelines omo de aba anase measures omo de aba no omochi omo ansa no omo de aba but omo de ba wie no macha sachi another 3 it is another 3 ne de omo face the full rigors of the law but the first 3 no omochi omo ansa na omo de measures ne ba no sa first 3 de omo deport mama the 7 minutes they deal with it because the car can why dada
good board omo ye juma God board who say mo bibi mo ka say 1 month aska 1 month man so no osia di kan for
Paul month
na osia di kan for I think say good board no e betimi dia mom so 1 month no mo sina di kan for senti na America na maka no I say dollar hondin a kofom e wo Ghana ha as CD no appreciate it. The dollar are depreciated against the CD by 18% and quad na echo. Now o hese CD ni mu ye de na ye good board initiative na omudiaba se omumma obibia keke na ebeto gold na waton gold ope gold atwa bra Ghana buy beto true gold board no maton amount and I mudi akwama no ne akoton enama imuayedi as part of measures so mudi be plaque holes na be yes amanfo ntimi mfa kwati kwan so onya gold no o ma decide so we bia be engage in that process no o mbecho I say sana tie dia na if say what is good for the was it goods no it is good for the gander yes and it say uchi obi bia wo ye involve mfi say emra na ye one there should not be any segregation be I say we ni mo there ye the way and a bed dealing with when the way I deal with when what I know is a Ghana you are supposed to be licensed answer now bit my trade in gold. I say unya license buyer if you are not a licensed exporter you cannot engage in buying and selling of gold. And it's a much pano before or after the establishment of gold border the prevailing law and they say obi bia ni hu kwan say auto gold and now auto gold abra wo ni hu license it is that first 3 people now more free pass do they have license to trade in gold in Ghana now say no mo need license Ziga,
did they offend the law?
They have offended, they have violated the law violently. They were supposed to have been roasted by their sins. Or in their sins, the fire of their sins. That is all. And spurring them on and holding the other 3, said for them they will face the full rigors of the law. No? I think that we are being selective. And selective application of law, for me, injustice. I will not support it anywhere. Say, they should put them before the law. Not running the say court, no, and the best set your my free fine. What I say, but not you, not gold board.
Okay, so say you said yeah, not just say and court no, and your court the best in deport woman. It must be they have violated the law. Yeah, and you do mama court no court ne do say they have offended. Okay, that's fine. Yeah. So it's to who now? Ebema ho kwasi in deport woman as almost self sentence.
See, a court decision. Entini ya chi bia na edu court na be decide. Somebody awayi e si ye di wutum 10 years, 50 years e wo Ghana ha. Ye di wutum e di ko ye prison. Say you were pre-arrangement, say you diplomatic engagement, arrangement with omo country. Say Nigeria, what I say, like India, ebi a Ghana ni India buying. I want she say India for Ghana for mama for moon to India. If we have a lot of international so if you have that treaty, if you have that arrangement, then you bet me amomako. Say be niwa so almost everywhere. What I say, Ziga, it does not lie in the mouth of gold board to decide who to send to court and who not to send to court. You don't have that power. Money sa to me no. To me, I'm more want to say yes, you will do wachi uchi afako and give them to the security agencies. What I say, let them prepare the people, put them before the court. It's a court and decide so ask for more than yamwa ye idiot. I see a jamwa. Court in your monko. Say yes, you cannot sit at good board and decide who to prosecute and who not to prosecute. Oh yes, sir, you are not applying the law fairly. Do you get it? Yeah. You are not applying the law fairly. And Ziga, God board should come clean. Aboma yehu God do draw omoji fees afu. What is the quantity? Street value no you say you say a kilo of gold no $94,000 and yes anity say kilo of gold $94,000 in there. How many kilos of gold and omaji this is what we want to know. And no ne they get it. That is what we want to know. Now that's Ghana ya jeno. Ye di consolidated and we need to know. Say sebeko consolidated and as ye be we visit omon fanto gold ni bi and say these are the things we need to know for positive government. Okay. You know, apart from that, things that they are doing well.
Okay. Harry.
Ziega. Well, yeah, when you say good board, no, adwumakuo bi a eba inche, even though na it was formed out of the PMMC, but we need to also credit them with some sort of say idea. So far as they have been doing so well, especially from the formulation of the board itself as an institution. Institution ama ebedi no nyuma abenya no nkasa no mra abedi no nyuma no na nya ade a edafom say ye 60 days ebete a huge institution like the good board no nya ade a edafom. So I think say some of the lapses in maybe enyoma in sheshaya omode ato ho no, they will still be looking at it as we move forward. Mre kona nim no na omo hwem aye nsakraye e de nyoma bia ka ho aye nyoma bia frim na de adenti se mebra makati e kan se omo ni hu kwan se omo decide, they don't decide who to prosecute and who not to prosecute no e bia omo tiwe a e be bo omo e be inform me omo maye some sort of decision either so omo de nyoma bi be ka ho na so me nyoma bia frim. But I think say we also need to be fair with them in a way that they are working hand in hand with the security agencies. I don't know whether you have heard. What you press now, they were clear. Say the people who made the arrest had the national security. But they got the Americans what I see. I don't think it's gold board. Then I need to be educated on that.
Or they have prosecutorial
they have
power.
Prosecutorial power, and I say a special task force.
They have task force. They have security task force. Yeah.
They may have security task force. That even those security task force will surely work under the national security, which is a known state security. Omoni omo bedeng, omoni omo be di adwuma because omo press na me hwe me kan from Kwame Minka. Yeah. Press and release here shows clearly it was the national security that went to that did that particular operations. And this is national security ISR operations now. So the national security can also decide whether to prosecute. I don't know whether the national security have the powers to prosecute someone. So far as they have the powers to prosecute someone, it means it's the national security that is doing it. Maybe a good board, you know, as an institution, you know, even though national security are just letting us know the steps they will take. Okay, that doesn't mean say it is the good board as an institution, no, and it is our powers and a prosecute you.
But I didn't know my explaining in that way.
Oh, I'm explaining too much. So far, Sami Jemfi and then for the current, I don't know whether he's still acting or say acting CEO of Good Board. And then you for almost ye ejuma sebi ejuma omo yano they want to prove say ejuma ye dia mo and senior mo and they can really do the work. And Sami Jemfi sebi ye dia ejuma na hye nsa no Ziega, even though he may be young in age, but ye nyina him say na dwemu do na dwemu bobil. Because when I was listening to him on Asempa FM, I was so surprised. Na nim de nyina wonya wo he within just short time. Now I say, "One who you be brave for Good Board." Huh? This shows how Sami Jemfi is deep when it comes to knowledge. Yeah. He's quick to learn and adjust. Into Jumana yedi ashanen sano. Sebi, I know very well. Say, lawyer Sami Jemfi would deliver. And I don't know whether currently you have listened, you have seen the news around. See, Good Board, I am a tongue. Even that was under PMMC. Goods now you know, we have made money, an amount of $2.7 billion, which is almost equivalent to the money we went for from the IMF. And they say, Good Board, Yuma, good. Now Good Board, no, solely, no bet me good, ama, ne bet me good, ama foreigners, and ne bet me kudidra, and as ne bet me kuton good, amaya. Ni nyasa si kapudwe every Good Border. I think se Ghana be fan to mapafra se bani sika 7 to 3. And you can see the effect on the dollar. Okay. Say krano, all those activities are having some sort of effect on the dollar. And then dollar no ba for me and you be and enwana and then obi ahwa then obi ahwa tono. And the dollar na ba for Ziega. Even say enema bom ma fam ye kura na wo sori na se ohun se dollar no kofo kura you feel say that dey hankran bi e
anything yes mu solve dum so there shouldn't be kasa because baby of mine yeni na ebeji atum say
they good board
the inflation no is stagnant kakra aboy Jamaica ati bagati bebo inflation is stagnant
fuel price so
fuel price is above from dollar so man solve dum so no a ebe say ni na okay what's Ziega all the Prestia town we are all using prepaid meters high prices from Stone Cold Prestia number 3 and Diaba. Well, see, good morning. 1K is 104. Okay, thank you very much. Yeah, that's a pa. And we also say
104. Yeah, that's 1 kilogram. We got $94,000. No, see 104, $104,000 a kilogram of gold.
It's not so 1 kilogram is $104. The $104,000. Okay, there's a 1 kilogram. Maybe I pay a goldsmith. And then you deal with blades, shillings, half blade, full blade, £1. Yeah. I say good morning, host. Please, Ghana are paying too much money for buying meters. If you don't have 3,000 cedis, you can't buy meter. Why? Bonnie, me free. I go me da enaba. Okay, my member Yakwaba. Bengazi watch up.
Ziega, we the wadar fachemi. Mzee no pay me mantiasem papa.
Oh,
why? Say me kona me Kofi honom. Me mami ne chiriba. Aye inti. Wadar me tifo fanchemi.
Kafa.
Ti we yi movie samia ntia na mache.
Okay.
No pay minchia minia Charles McCarthy. Samson chia minia Kojo Harrison. Maybe nyina metina trotrom na medeba.
Na kama mentro de ka kwasem.
O se metie bi. Metina trotrom na ntia no patrotro stations na ha no mutie. Enti ayi Charles kasa wie ye no. Ena Kojo Harrison start kasai. O start kasai na nkofo start so mo cheche. Harrison, sisi a uni opposition, ni omo ka otrotro no na me ka kire wo no. Uni opposition. Omo se akwa no NDC ni kasate se ni owo opposition. Enu tia no omo pam MPP fo no omo de ayi na de ama mo omo de power na be hye mo nsem no. Ni omo ka otrotro na me ka kire wo.
Wo ba wa fo trotro.
O start se wo kasa na. Na omo start so omo cheche. Because Ziega, dum so no eye ade bia edi Ghana fo nya. Na obi oni me etina trotro mu asem o mo kan di tie nie o se Ghana obi abebo akofo ado dim bone dia adum so de ontumi fa sha akofo ado because 8 years of my light
trotro for that small book
asem o mo kan no
see
so Harrison kasati se ni owo opposition enti so we afi hu a minia sisi amona mo wa bam kasa o kan nyina no ene se president man ani ko hon masa o wa bam yeah, buy your first 100 days. Your my excuses be you copy scan you three can na da hono me Ghana gas. Near the car over $100 million. What change ako? Eko Nigeria. Nim mpenfo kosi nkonya. Now I believe say Ghana hanom no. When it comes to the issues of energy, first thing first, me can say you need a better negotiation. Obia otumi negotiate ye. And this current minister here otenaso eye John Jenapono utumi hu say ni negotiations nye enu still dum so no ekoso no Ziega me ka kira wo enkura asisi a omoto ho aye rashes a ewo krom hanom a oye mbehye rashes a egu nkofu achi ene ho no mo ntumi nda ewo krom hanom a
and a heat flash
na me de anya me hu tie me President Mahama first one or call no mutu na penso no. Oba no why no ho te so ye angel boy dangerous. So nim the we are Ghana for the we are yadwenete ye. Onim the we are ye nneoma. Enti no ye ni nyina no onim ne oye. Obi a wutumi yi e-levy fi honom e-levy na ma 1%. No what ba be yi betting tax 10% if you want. Now with the electricity, I got 14.5, almost about 15. nti wo jo mahama wo ye ya na wo boy ekro no ilevi no wan kwanko saniska obi anto nkofo bi omo saniska no na omo te omo betting tax wan kwanko twa beta ye nto 10% meboa na electricity no water na oba no watutum na nti wo ba ye no kire se ode ndada ne fragadam wose we betting tax afi obi abon nsem we ilevi afi won mo obi abon nsem now the 14.5 electricity abese kwam or the water 4.5 almost about 5% can you na bom nehwe itiene me de ni omo ka wo trotro mu na me de rade asese na me spark me ka anje so ametumi fa trotro ni nkofo kam no omo se mo ba ye ncheye basisi a 120 days na ayete se eye goodwill ana mu grace period no omo se apa ho na excuse ni ye too much nyomo ka wo trotro mu na me ko no kwa ka kire o man panim so no anka sam si from no metie ni eko betting tax any 11 no yifi hono na ama obi e bon sem mano no omo se electricity any water now wa ba be ye yi ne de omo ne mpene so enu am ko to prepaid that was 2 days ago Ziega me to prepaid 100 Ghana cedis and pay me ko check me prepaid aka me 15 Ghana cedis
and you say ba umia na e
I don't know this about me. Bawumia na ti akọ.
Na sabita.
Bawumia samita. Since when did Bawumia change meters for Kroma? Master, let's get serious. Muna mu wa be mu na matu power mu e dey akọ 14.5.
It's a lie.
Oni mu kofo mu complain wo ha. Madam fu bi fi abochire bae. O se awo ontumi awo.
Ziega ye benya time I respond. Enya sa ontumi
ba awo e wa abochire no wa ba Ghana ha no. Oba ye wa ba be bie ni perfume shop e was Spintex. Wafa makwa 15 mo hwa ne shop no man o se the profit onye nyina atisi o de tofu wo because of them so
many time I respond
generator
no
generator
one about it is our share for time one about
around hanum nyina businessmen ko say ko young boys one mo ba ko hanum ye friend fofo ko bisa no said this time omudum let omudum o kasa na me o kasa man be
oh man, you want to be balloting, but use it time. I was what time.
O kasa mambem. Me say o kwasa ko hanum sisi afofo. Or repair phones wa hanum. Ko bisa ne say this time no sika kakra na oboa no ahe no de tofu o. Dum so ni di enya ye ko ka mo so mayenka. Na kwa ye te say ne ye mpo mampani na asem. Ensem me no man kan fa ban ho.
Na me say do say ye mu say bad ye o ba hu just say dey.
Tie me. Na onim Andra e wo weja. And apart from 9 o'clock to anywhere 6 o'clock, no what do be light.
Weja na meti o.
Weja na wote.
Weja meti.
Enwa wan kwa aduma. Very good. Enwa wan kwa aduma. Me na me catch me get weja. Me get weja. Enwa mu dum light into be say me ncha the whole day.
What's my job, bro?
It is ana mo beya kura me na beya me dem. Mu dum the light sa na o me say me nchen.
Meti asisi.
Sa na mo beya dia mu dum the light de bia na o me say me nchen.
Say no grant anka
compare
yabo.
Mu dum no no.
Yabo.
And for businesses. Ne President Mahama kan ye no. Enya anu ne Ziega, okay, omo manifesto no page 24. Almost say the first thing omo beya no say they are going to reduce hardship. And then be some who say pona, bayire pona ba ko ya he.
Okay.
And then ko share crate ba ko ya he.
Okay.
Musi ye mom dede.
Okay.
Bi asem na ko so okroma hanom no.
Say the what is hit no.
Me de manusi no. Omo ye ka kire Ghana fo say John Mahama ne last one obey. Oba be party sika for the retirement. Man tie ye. Ebi na ekoso no.
Okay. Where Benghazi bitikra me ya. E Japan. All right, I come for police nedru enfamam. Imbuste eba mixture se men kan kire say. Yare bi atiti wu bia no imbuste eba mixture. No se imbuste eba mixture no no mo a ema a boost immune system no. Enti ema wa soja for ho nkomo no strong. Enti se bi yare bi na atena wo so acha. A boost immune system no a onum bia ye de duro kan wa na ekọ e na afansu se bia woni yare bia kra na obobo bia e be prevent o de free yare domini na ho me no kase ne chicken pox ne sa yare ne ketekete na sha se eba enti hu behia so benom ne boost eba mixture na wo yare bi ti se syphilis gonorrhea wo de skirt bi apɛ so owuram wa wura skirt mu saa ne yɛntimi nka nkyerɛ sɛ gyae bia na no wakɔnɔ deɛ ɛna betimi aboa wo sɛ saa na betimi aboa wo deɛ ɛna yɛka kyerɛ sɛ nonum imboost aba mixture sɛ akyɛw wokyɛwa akyɛw no deɛ onum bia ɛbɛkɔ ɛnya nkyɛw so betimi anum bi na de aboa ho ban obi a pressure tete wo num imboost aba mixture pure natural ebetu ase de amount afi osa hudo bia e wo so bia no eye imboost herbal mixture police nedro no ebeku osa ya mukuro no ama ene otodok no kwa yenti ma wonye hyeto wuntimi ni mako eti ama chese me no kasai yare bebrebe aduane bebrebe yetuawo stroke abubudu agu ho level bia du bia no onum imboost herbal mixture beko usisi yare no wonum no wo wiase ni na anadwo bia obeda che no esuosie edi tutu mane nkoma mwate se flames nko ade ay imboost herbal mixture bamanako fatigue onya adwuma bia so honam yo eyo ya malaria ne typhoid fever and afa so kidney problems na no imboost herbal mixture no betenete edi amawo enano mo anam wo ayiboko na mo bisa se na boko fo ye benya biato okọ Calamed pharmacy eno no boko a ebi wo ho eno wo low cost road ubenya imboost herbal mixture biato afei herbal shop bia wo Ghana afa na nyina any pharmacy shop bia wo otireje wa Bogatanga Tamale Accra Kaishi Dragley eni Kumase ni na all regions ubenye ebi ato na ope ebi etu akoton ana pe ba kwa ko yusua number ye 0246 208496 0246 208496 imboost herbal mixture eni ebedi asem edi amaye we was say I would do midi free swedro na di aba was I'm using postpaid and I have requested for my bill since last 2 years, and yet they have not responded. And people remain in opposition forever. Trust me, with this kind of communicators. Okay, thank you very much. Amalina for some country will say, and that's how you know. Fanny Brown Malina nye sesi ni mfama unu so oba bi wo ho no onyinsanya na lines bi abade de so akora no sododo ebi kra ye so am ye ntafo ebi odi wo afro konie frank ente sa face lines bi abade da ye fru so se wa nyi lines na fru ho no mo a ahwe a wo a ofunu be moamoa ebi na akora no kra ye ba ko peye da ye kan sam de tu tirim edi kwa se basa wo ye oba onyinsanya na ayi wonoma ye ensabia gugu hunam kucha fe no wa ho fe di na ateko eya na yakade atu tirim se da bi owo a ho fe de beba na so na jati no wa hyada ye ho basa da bi oba de so ho ye akono e de ma akuru wonyi se de akura no a e so ho ye akono ma akuru ne oda eni kwa so yare a e sabe ayi wonyi se ya okuru tibi kwa abonten e kokofa ma ono beda ofia na se oye omoa da bia so uluku attractive na wafunu kwanya 8 months no your maternity a wo sha still abeluku attractive ediama ukunu ye wonku a wo sra ebe ma honam kuche ni na akọ ama stretch marks ne wafunu a ayesa ni na no ni na ate akọ afa ye wonku susu a ene ayi practice ya do be famu a owu a se de be ye wafunu nya kese ni na betwetwe kama ediama ene ye Amalina ayi children's haven ene be ye we say ediama afa akra no wode na beto no your baby scott papa you want tade a ye de be man for season say dry season e bade se wiemu ye hia ye wode ye de ma akra no obe sha ayi ye fede say huhuro eni akra no man ntiatem ngu so ama na ju 2 am wada no otetew ye wode obe hye ama se awo banso a ebe ma no ho aye hye ama no ho aye dene pa ni na ye obi obetimi akọ Amalina www.amalinaonline.com.gh honum obord pe ye be man cheche ni na e de ama ye wo scarf bi e de aba akra no wa sha sesu otutu no wo tutu saa no be otumi hye fam na ni tina ba be boho etimi ya so akra nya me na bo no ho ba de be men kasa e betimi asesa ne memory index na kofa problem e de aba ama da cheche na de na enkoniti betimi ama na nya yare kra Amalina ba be solve problem ni na e de ama ye upe nchemu a anasa person call na kotubi eton anasa o person do yire kọ ho ana wa bu kọ kototom no ma bi se de be ya onyinsem no wa wo mu no e be ye fa number no 053 0593 92 1777 0593 921 and 050 167 2445 050 167 2445 nini na ofra ye bejo so we Amalina ye fa enko Okay. Obatampa Prostate Center for some control say. And now oda utimi Josore Johnson sa wo sinso na wo no mitane nunsa. Wo sore na Johnson wano e ye betu ase de amount. Afi Johnson a obon sa ase bia kam eni kwa ase basa yakofa prostate enlargement e de amount. Na from prostate enlargement to prostate cancer. Ni na betu ase de amount aye cancerous ya show katika ama ye show rubber san watimi Johnson Obatampa say brade ntu ase emfama ho. Friend number this is here. Number is 0553 800 7678 0553 800 678 and here Obatampa chira kwanya your kaswa Fifi Pratt last stop and on what kaswa to Yanyanu road hona ubehu ya chira kwa udu Fifi Pratt road last stop bisa so Obatampa mu ye prostate adwuma no ye obia bejo so akra do obeko ana wakwajo ofa ahudie sabre mama a minute na yemfa tu apona yan ye birthday read some of the text message Jolaka aye crowd what say Jolaka twe Harris mama sha se fa fi ho 30 seconds please
where the answer
and what do you know and what do you know
oh that be mad me anyway ye nyina betime esa strategy ye be ballot ya kase afro trotro na be kan sem hunu ne yapon no next time I also do the same thing and ye be hu bia ye nyina be hu bia be she program na say no okay sorry oh chira the fact of the matter na say yes whoever calls for equity must come with clean hands momo time momo somebody who was so arrogant like Napo at the energy ministry they are not Ghana for dum so buy na ye can was say yankasa enko timetable we not in this town now you have that authority to come and be saying what see dum so am obi to ahoye nkurusa what sort of language is that you had Napo as the energy minister who was so arrogant anything will lose the election and then you are calling people out sheka ma bo atu energy sector. Look at the amount of debt amajato.
Okay.
Mumunti the managing your economy kurane nipa 800 awu pa because of debt restriction. And now better now we the omo because of managing the way you manage the economy.
Fire to upon mama 30 seconds so wada.
Oh me kwa de ayenkra.
You have had enough.
Ayenkra na me di ma obi eto me nkra for Ben. Oso mo ase oni petrol twen ho. Omo twen no ase.
Say why dey?
See, it's about okika before election no.
Okika say before election.
Your senior man be say me kan tell omo gina ase o twen no.
Begazi
Harrison Swanya ne dey. Samuna. Also now.
Waka Shamima, Mame, Shamima Muslim, deputy spokesperson government, Mame Chan Baby Obia, Shamima Bedawati, and I will tell Baby Obia.
Ziga, Meduma no sino. You see, Abanwe no baby and Harrison Tina, and Ranametina hobby. So on your power, I'm so much I won't take. Me tina trotro near form for cano and I'm DB manual. So kona kwa trotro be into your best electricity doom sona strategy that be me mesrel doom sona mesre doom sona or my
minister say yankasa minister bia
mundi 5 months kura and for dollars amuche wo kroma ha for dollars amuche wo kroma ye ka hwe tira mo amu
okay oh my goodness, what a day. Mr. Gentlemen, Mama, my imra from my Mr. Happy birthday to Mrs. Letitia Amoa. Charlotte, we're from Charlotte, Oba, and I see him from Mama Letitia. My late happy birthday to you. Watching your mama kese, copy Mr. Obey kese, Palma, Ninche, and Maye. And a happy birthday to Abigail. Or you know why? We're from Deborah, and I see him from Kai. I like your swag or specs, no, and no, Atadiano Copa. Happy birthday to you, Abi. Nakoponka, one throw shemu, Namam Yokrupa Dachi. And a happy birthday to Group Captain Yaujima. Director of Engineering at Air Force Headquarters. Yay, say, we salute, sir. We salute. Happy birthday to you, say. Nyakopon ka hontre wo shemwate. More promotion emra pa bra we do our day. And a happy birthday to Benny Battles of Ghana Institute of Engineering. Okay, Benny, happy birthday to you. Nyakopon ka hon on tete wataba mu pa emaye. That's a happy birthday. And command message Jocelyn Na Thompson. Mrs. Joycelyn Na Thompson, yay, my Joyce. We through Uknu Honum and Mr. Echo Thompson, and I see Emfa we say Emfa ma Nyakopon ka hwate ye mama our panso so. Sounds a happy birthday to Salah Cutie of Kaswa from France, Teresa. From Wadam for Teresa ho and I see